Sector Wars, play Astro Blaster.
If you destroy my baby,
Intruder alert. The intruder must not escape.
Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight.
you will be a torpedo.
Prepare to qualify.
Oh, warrior needs food badly.
Lead on, adventurer. Your quest awaits.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Dragon Spirit. This was created by Namco in 1987 and released licensed to Atari. This is an incredibly hard vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. You are a prince that turns into a dragon, and his name is Amul, A-M-U-L. He changes into a dragon to rescue his lover Alicia from the demon Zawell. I didn't come up with these names. But you have 9 different stages, and you only have 2 life bars in default gameplay. I don't think that you can change the amount of life bars in the dip switch settings. So you only have 2 life bars. That's all. There really should be at least 3. This game's just a little too hard. But it's like Xevious. You have a fire and a bomb. Or, you know, many other games that have imitated Xevious in that aspect. And your dragon screams whenever it is hit. In this version of Dragon Spirit, you can start on any area, and if you begin on later areas, you can get extra heads for your dragon, and you can pick up extra heads from various power-ups. And we'll have a look at all the power-ups later on. Let's get started. Here is stage 1. There will be enemies on the ground, and there will be enemies in the air. Now, there will also be eggs. There will be colored eggs, and there's one right there. You can bomb them, and there is the first power-up that I pick up, and this gives me an extra head. And when you get an extra head for your dragon, you get an extra shot. So I have a 2-way shot, and you can get up to 3 heads total. There will be also red-colored eggs. The one I picked up was blue. And the red-colored eggs can give you extra fire power. Oh, and one thing you really want to watch for is enemies that flash. And when they flash, they will give you a special power-up. And there is a red power-up that I couldn't quite reach, or an orange one. I hate these birds, they scatter their feathers. And there is my 3rd head. So now I have 3-way shot. The game gets really hard, but more so a little bit later on, because early on you can at least sneak between the enemy shots. They are not very fast. Whoops. These guys can be a pain because they try to follow you. And they killed me. I believe I'd seen this in arcades before, but I didn't play it. It would have frustrated me back then. It's still kind of frustrating. But I hate those birds that will scatter their feathers. And that bird was flashing, so I was able to kill it and get a red power-up. Now you have a fire meter on the bottom right, and when you fill it up, the strength of your fire changes. It gets stronger, and you can change it one more time after that. But if you get hit by an enemy, you will go down 1 level of fire power. And if you get hit by an enemy while you have multiple heads, you will lose 1 head. And again, get hit twice and you will die, which sucks. And I've only got 1 hit left that I can take. there's another. The orb went off screen. I couldn't catch it. But there's another egg. If you see a power-up and there's too many enemies in the way, don't go for it. You have precious little life as it is. There's no way to get extra life as far as I know in this game. We are almost to the boss. There will be boss enemies at the end of each stage. And again, there are 9 stages. And this one isn't super hard. Just kind of lead his head away so that it'll fire away from you. He can fire diagonally left or right, or he can fire straight down. Just try not to get his head too close to you to where he'll be able to breathe fire right on you. It just takes a while to get used to. And there he's dead. You can't bomb him. You have to shoot regular firepower at him. And now we're on stage 2. As you get further in the game, more exotic power-ups will be available to you. And there are like long fire, you can shoot long blasts of fire. There's a wider shot. That one is incredibly rare. There's a homing shot, which is one of the best power-ups in the game. You can turn yourself small, so it's harder for enemies to shoot you. Yeah, look for those white flashing enemies. Those all gave me these cheapo diamonds, which are just 100 points. You get an extra life of like 80,000, but I was unable to reach that with regular gameplay. Whoops. Yeah, if you get hit, when your fire meter will stay the same, but it might be dropped down 1 level. There's also an earthquake orb, which is really cool. If you can collect it, all the ground enemies will be destroyed, and all the eggs with power-ups, will break open automatically, so you just have to catch the orbs, which is very nice. And again, look for that. There, I've got double fire because I filled up my fire meter. And that I collected there, that was if you collect 3 of those, that gives you an extra life. It was a purple orb. But we'll look again at the different orbs later on. I'll have a close-up look at them and I'll explain what they do. Yeah, this game is very, very, very tough. The tops of those geysers or volcanoes or whatever, they will burn you if you touch them. Whoops. I was almost at the end of that stage. I'll put in my initials. That's Dragon Spirit, and there was a sequel called Dragon Saber, I believe. Someday we'll look at that. This game was suggested, I think, by Nathan Williams, Old School Gamer 99 or something. But it's very hard. There is the blue ball that gives you the blue, that comes from blue ground targets, usually. And it gives you 2 heads. And it collect it again, it'll give you a 3rd head. And, and another shot. See, that's 2 shot. And there's 3 heads, 3 shots. And there is the red ball, or the red orb, that adds to your fire meter. And each time the meter is filled, you get a stronger shot. And an enemy hit brings you down 1 level. So the meter will still have the same digits. And there's increased firepower. And there is the yellow orb. That is only available on stage 8, and that will give you better vision you have limited vision on that stage. See, like that. But if you collect the orb, you get better vision, you see. And enemy hit brings you back, or enemy hit will bring it back down. And then that is the long Fire Orb. That gives you longer range of fire until you're hit. See? Nice long laser of fire. And there's the wide Fire Orb. I do not have footage of that because it's just so damn rare, but it gives you a 3-way shot. And then if you have 2 heads, it's 4-way, and 3 heads, it's 5-way. And you lose it when you're hit. And then next up is the homing Fire Orb. And this gives you homing shots. I love this power-up. You just fire and it breaks up into little shots and scatters around and hits enemies. I love it. It doesn't last that long though. It will run out after a while. You'll see your dragon flash before it runs out. And next is the small Dragon Orb. You collect this and you will turn small. It makes it harder for the enemies to hit you. You will lose all the multiple hits you have, but you will keep your fire level. And you'll keep it until you're hit. That's one of the bosses there. There's the Earthquake Orb. I love this. This kills enemies or opens eggs on the ground automatically. Again, look for that flashing enemy. That will often give you a cool power-up. It's hard to tell now, but the ground is shaking. And all enemies on the ground will die. All orbs will break up that are on the ground. Cool. And then this is the Power Wing Orb. This gives you an invincibility shield for a short time. You can still die by getting trapped in a scrolling screen if you get pinched. We'll look at that some more later, maybe. See, you can touch enemies and not die. Touch bullets and not die, but it ran out there. And then there's the Extend Purple Orb. If you get 3 of them, you get a 1-up. And also you get a 1-up at 80,000 points. Those flashing enemies will often give you exotic orbs. So watch out for them and kill them and catch whatever they drop. And then there's the Power Down Orb. You will lose a head or a firepower level if you have more than one. This is a nice area. There's multiple flashing enemies that you can kill and get multiple orbs. And there's the wussy little diamond orb. That only gives you 100 points. It's one of the more common power-up orbs I've seen in the game. See, there's a bunch of enemies and they'll all give you a bunch of flashing enemies. They'll all give you that diamond orb. And there's the awesome gold orb. That will give you 10,000 points each. There's a couple of them. Nice. And I'm just showing you a typical boss battle. I'll kill him and then move on to Area 3. That was the boss at the end of Area 2 that I almost got to. We'll just basically pick up the game from here. And you go through this bramble-like area with enemies kind of hiding in there. Yeah, this game is really frickin' hard. I mean, it's got good music. I like the music. I like the kind of fantasy element of wizard type of guy changing into a dragon, being able to get multiple heads and add to their fire power. But that dragon screaming is annoying. You'll just about hear it in your sleep, and I hate those peacock things. It's almost as annoying as Space Harrier's whenever he dies. Yeah, these creepy roots that follow you. You could shoot them to stop them, but they go all over the screen looking for you. It's kind of creepy. And you can't fly to the right of them, you'll get hurt. And there, I think I shrunk there. I got the small dragon item. I put on invincibility or infinite life or something like that. On this boss, you have to bomb all of those ground targets there that surround that flower thing or whatever that is. You can't hit the target itself. You have to hit the ground targets and avoid those rocks. Oops. And then once you do that, then you kill him. We're just scooting forward to later parts of the game. We're not going to do an entire playthrough, because that would just take too long. I will probably not be as proficient as I'd like to be with video making for a while, because I've undergone cosmetic surgery and I look like absolute crap and my vision is kind of messed up. I got the bags under my eyes removed because they look too puffy, at least according to me. Those guys are annoying, those ground guys, but always look out for the white flashing enemies, because they will often give you some very cool power-up orbs. I pretty much didn't give a crap about getting hit by this point, because I have invincibility or infinite life on. But I just wanted to scoot forward and show you the memorable parts, perhaps, of each remaining level. Those skulls, clattering skulls on the ground, you have to bomb them. And then this part is kind of annoying, where these enemies just appear out of nowhere and shoot at you. And there's this flying skeleton, and he has these flying blue pieces that come out of him. This is where you'd really like to have multiple heads, so you can end the round quicker, because he takes forever to kill. I think you can, when his parts break open, I think you can shoot that flashing blue gem or whatever it is and hurt him. Yeah, like that. And that's the end of that boss. And this part is kind of tough because, yeah, you can hurt yourself by hitting those walls. Like that. Killed myself. But the walls will open, and they will also close in, so watch out for that. Yeah, there's a really good soundtrack for this game. I'm sure to some this is like a collector's item, getting the soundtrack for Dragon Spirit. Yeah, I think I saw this maybe once in an arcade before. I didn't bother playing it. I would have probably been frustrated. It's just very, very hard. And, you know, shoot-em-ups, or at least the common trappings of shoot-em-ups, were still a new thing in 1987. And now this boss, you have to bomb him. yeah, my cosmetic surgery right now, as I'm narrating this video, I have tape over my eyes. My eyes are black. They're crusty, and I look terrible. Just about in time for Halloween. But I'm gonna have the tape removed Sunday morning, and then they'll start the healing process, hopefully. It's not super uncomfortable, but my eyes just can't open as wide as I'd like to when they start tearing up on occasion. So I have to put in eye drops. I can't really directly dab at them with a Kleenex like I'd like to, because of the bandages in the way. But other than that, I'm doing all right. I have prescription drugs if I start feeling pain. And you gotta watch out for these icicles that stick out from the left and right, and then you have to shoot your way through this here. But yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of playing this game. Gets very annoying very fast. If you see a whole bunch of flashing enemies together, they're often gonna just be those lame-ass 100-point diamond orbs. Oh, I got an extra head there. And when you hear the music stop, then you'll know a boss fight is going to be coming up before too much longer. Come on. Just die. There we go. And it's a flying dragon, but he has very fast firepower. So you're going to have to carefully stay just ahead of him while you shoot. And I don't know how many shots he normally shoots in a row, but he shoots them very, very, very fast. Note that I have like 5 blocks of life. That doesn't happen in the game. There might be some ROMs, I guess, where they will give you longer life to begin with, but you only get 2 in the regular one, as far as I know. Like I said, it's kind of like a Space Harrier, hearing the annoying death cry of the guy. You're gonna hear that a lot in Space Harrier, but not as much as you're gonna hear the dragon scream in this game. Those dragons are annoying too. They spit out a lot of firepower. Shut up. Well, here's the boss of that stage. Some of these later bosses aren't super hard, but it's hard when you only have 2 blocks of life. It's really unfair. Just have to go between these shots and just keep shooting until you hit him. Sometimes it's hard to tell if the shots are going to go under your wing or if they're going to hit you. But just keep dodging his shots and shooting him, and eventually he'll go down, as long as you don't keep getting hit. But yeah, with greater firepower, you can cut down the enemy fights, or the boss fights, much quicker. And here is that limited vision stage, stage 8. And you have to find those power-ups that give you the extra vision. And those are, I think those were a yellow orb. Oh, God. But the vision orb, or extended vision orb, is only on the 8th stage. And the 8th stage is fairly short, as far as I remember. And you just have to take out this giant snake's eyes and avoid these other enemies. Yeah, some of those later bosses are a little easier than some of the earlier bosses. The final bosses, I mean, surprisingly easy compared to earlier bosses. The, what was his name? The demon Zawell. Silly names they give the characters in this game. And now in this area, you can especially get pinched by the scrolling screen. There will be dead ends, and sometimes there will be a power-up in there to entice you to go that way. And you're like, oh crap, I'm dead. But I put on a cheat that lets me go through those areas. There will be spears jabbing out of the wall, so watch them. Watch out for them. A lot of the enemies will not shoot when you pass them. They will not shoot back up at you. Keep that in mind. I mean, the game is hard, but there are some things to remember that might make your life easier in this game. Much of the enemy firepower is not fast. Some of it is, but much of it is not, and you can sneak through the bullets. Especially if you have that small dragon power-up. These guys can shoot from behind. Yeah, those spears jab very fast, so get in between them quickly, or else you'll go deaf hearing your dragon scream. And now here is the second to last boss. There will be 2 bosses at the end of stage 9. And again, it looks like I have 5 blocks of life. That you don't get that many in the regular game. I put on a cheat. You have 3 dragon heads you need to destroy, and they shoot very fast. Shut up. Yeah, again, if you get hit by an enemy and you have 2 dragon heads, you're supposed to lose 1. I put on a cheat that makes me keep those dragon heads. If I cheat in a game, and I will just to show you like later levels that I couldn't reach, I'll let you know about it. Or if I had to use a save state or something. I want to at least give you a full gameplay without cheats, and then show you the later parts I couldn't reach with cheats. And now this will be the final boss, the wizard, or the demon Zawell. And once you defeat him, you are reunited with your lover, Alicia. I didn't think I was going to be able to do any videos with my eyes the way they are. It's harder to see and they tear up on occasion, but I think I'm doing alright right now. It's very, very expensive process. It cost me like $7,500 or something. I had the money and I thought I looked terrible, so I wanted something done about it. Well, if you feel that strongly about it and you have the money, do it. Yeah, this is for the final boss. This guy's really pretty lame. Just get under him when you can. Don't let his circular blades pin you in a corner, and just keep getting under him and shooting him. Don't run right into him. Yeah, crap, that one got me. Eventually you'll kill him. And here's the ending to Dragon Spirit. And again, there is a sequel called, what was it, Dragon Blade or something? Dragon Saber. We'll look at that one someday. I think she said Amu, which is your name. It changes back into a wizard or something. And they embrace. Now, one thing that's cool about this ending is that they will show Namco games before this, all the Namco games, as far as I know. So you'll see like kind of obscure stuff like King and Balloon, GB, other stuff. First they show the staff responsible for Dragon Spirit. Yeah, I think I saw this once in an arcade, and then many years later I saw it included on one of the Namco museum games for the PlayStation. I think it was like Volume 4 or something, 4 or 5. But yeah, I think I remember seeing this in an arcade, a nickel arcade, back in the day. Somewhere in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, very, very difficult game even for 1987. You're gonna hear your dragon scream a lot. But yeah, I think some ROMs, I don't think it's via dip switch, but I think some ROMs will give you extra energy. There'll be like 3 or maybe even 5 blocks of energy, and this one only lets you start with 2, and there's no way to get an extra life block. And here is the history of Namco games: GB, Bombi, Galaxian, QDQ, Nevalone, a bunch of other ones that I'd never heard of. Well, there's Pac-Man, King and Balloon, Tank Battalion, Rally X, New Rally X, Warp and Warp, Galaga, Bosconi, and Dig Dug, Pole Position, Super Pac-Man, Xevious, Mappy, Pack and Pal, which is awful, Fozon, Libble Rabble, Pole Position 2, Gapless, Tower of Druaga. That one's really hard, and I don't like that one that much, Tower of Druaga. I know it's got quite the following in Japan. There was even an anime of it, and its sequel, Return of Ishtar. See you again next game. Well, that was Dragon Spirit by Namco in 1987. And I'll put in my initials here. Well, I hope you enjoy your upcoming weekend. Hope you enjoy college football or NFL, whatever you're looking forward to. I'm having 3 weeks off of work during my recovery time. That's kind of nice. Well, that was Dragon Spirit by Namco and licensed to Atari in 1987. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80, and thanks for watching Dragon Spirit by Namco and licensed to Atari in 1987. I will catch you later with another video. Y'all have a good weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.